Welcome to Creating Intimacy and Respects podcast. I'm your host, Omar. As you know, we have a training seminar with Creating Intimacy and Respect where we teach over 65 plus tools. During the training, we see relationships in various stages. The stages can range anywhere from engaged to newlyweds, divorced, trying to work things out for the sake of their children, separated who are living in different homes. You name it, we've seen it. So why is this even relevant? Well, the reason why it is relevant is because our training can help you no matter what stage you are at in your relationship. For couples who are engaged, we are certified by the state of Texas as premarital counseling. For couples who are in a crisis, we have a 94% success rate putting struggling couples back together. We teach these couples how to resolve conflict, how to set healthy boundaries in their relationship, how to create a safe place so that they can talk about the hard things that they normally can't. Now, men, I know there are times that when your relationship is struggling, you may not want to seek an outside source like counseling or a couple seminar that could really pave a great foundation for your relationship. But I want you to think about something. Because men, if you follow any type of court or case law, even the Supreme Court of the United States came out with Sessions versus Morales, that the laws in our land are biased towards men. Yes, they came out with this in their opinion, but it's not up to them to fix it. It's up to Congress. So let me tell you how biased the laws are. Right now, we have 258 million adults in the United States. Half of those adults have experienced at least a one-time divorce. So let me break it down this way. 84% of all divorces, mom gets full custody. That means if you have children right now and your relationship is struggling and you may think that it's going down divorce road, there's a big probability that you are going to lose your children. Right now, out of 84% of divorces, dad goes from being 100% involved in a child's life during marriage to 0% involved in a child's life after divorce. And it wasn't by his choice. It's not by the men's choice. It's by a court system that dictates this is when you will see your children and how you will see them. So right now we have 43% of all U.S. children who live without their father. 43%. That is a huge, huge number. And so what can you do, men? Well, if you want something that nobody else has, you have to be willing to do things that nobody else does. So we have a couple seminar that will help you resolve conflict, help you talk about the hard things. It'll help you being emotionally connected to your spouse. Because the funny thing is that going through divorce statistics, you would think that women would get divorced, or the number one factor would be infidelity. Maybe even abuse, right? No. The number one reason or the number one cause of divorce is lack of commitment. So what does that mean? What does lack of commitment mean? Well, a happy and healthy marriage requires commitment from both spouses. But unfortunately, it only takes one spouse with a lack of commitment to not have a happy and healthy marriage. And so it is another way that people get divorced because they're just not happy. It takes two people in order to create a happy and healthy marriage. And when one person is not doing it, there's where the lack of commitment comes into play. And so 75% of divorces happen because of lack of commitment, where one person is no longer happy in the relationship, so they decide to leave. It's not because of abuse. It's not because of infidelity or even finances. So think about that. If you are unwilling to fix your relationship, men, if you are unwilling to look at the problem in your relationship, you have a huge probability that you're going to lose more than just your spouse. You're also going to lose your children. So think about that. As you think of that, I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I do on the side. So I help dads who go through divorce. I help them file paperwork so that their visitation can be enforced. No divorce is ever perfect. It always has its set of challenges and circumstances that happen within the case. Now, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need to have individuals like me who go out and enforce visitation with fathers. However, there is a huge need for it. So, where am I going with this? Well, I want to tell you, men, if you're listening, I would much rather help you save your marriage than save your visitation with your children. And if for 1 second you think, I'm actually better off divorced than I am married, well, let me go ahead and go over some statistics with you when it comes to children growing up without a father in a home. And that's what's going to happen as soon as you get divorced. Well, at least for 84% of you. Well, 90% of homeless and runaway children are from a fatherless home. 63% of youth suicides are from a fatherless home. 80% of rapists motivated with displaced anger come from fatherless homes. Children raised without a father are 4 times more likely to live in poverty. Students coming from fatherless homes are twice as likely to drop out from school. In all but one of the 15 leading causes of death, the absence of the father is statistically significant. 85% of children who show behavior disorders also come from fatherless homes. Children from fatherless homes are 5 times more likely to commit suicide. Children in father-absent homes has significantly higher odds of incarceration. For you girl dads out there, teen girls who come from a fatherless home are 3 times more likely to become pregnant. Children without fathers are 2 to 3 times more likely to use drugs and experience health, educational, and emotional problems. Now, think about all of this. This is just statistics over divorces. Just divorce. We're not including those individuals who have been engaged but never got married, or who maybe have been engaged and had a child here, or maybe 2 children through that relationship. We're not talking about the couples who have been together for years and who have children and maybe own property together and have a mortgage together, and yet they never got married. And so these statistics do not apply to those individuals who did not get married or who are not married. This is only for those individuals who have been through a divorce. Another thing to take into consideration is that our children need both parents. They need the nurturing of a mother and the protection of a father. Our our daughters, they learn how to be treated. They learn what to find in a potential spouse by watching the example of how their father treats their mother. Our sons learn how to be men, regardless if dad is in the home or not. If they don't have that positive role model at home, they will find a role model. It doesn't matter if that role model is good or bad. They still need that male influence, and they will find it. They will look for it until they do. Did you know that 74% of all teachers are women? That means 3 out of 4 children will be influenced by women only. They won't have that father figure or that male role model to teach them and to model for them on how a positive male should act and be like. You know, we hear this term in our society that we have a problem with toxic masculinity. But the truth of the matter is, out of our 43% of children who do not have a father in the home, we don't have a toxic masculinity problem. We have a lack of fathers in the home problem. So men, again, if you are listening to this podcast, I highly encourage you to take the time and the opportunity to invest into your relationship, to go back and create a solid foundation, not only for yourself, but also for your family and for your children. Because after all, you are the leader of the home. You are the defender and the protector of your castle. So what is it going to be? For more information on tips and tools, you can visit our website at circouples.com. Descriptions will be posted below. And thank you for listening to Creating Intimacy and Respects podcast.